Elway boots and rolls to his right, stops, loads it up, throws down deep in the middle of the field. Brad Smith's got it. Here we go. 30, 20, 15, 10, 5. Brad Smith, Denver, touchdown. Inside the 10, head first. He's high, yard line. He wanted that first down.
And I tell you what, if you want to tell me the 37-year-old man that's going to win this game.
The Broncos have been in 3 overtime games this year.
Hey, good evening, Broncos fans. We have an amazing show for you this evening after another heartbreaking loss. As always, we are brought to you by Rocky Mountain Sports Network. Check out the Rocky Mountain Sports Network. They got all your Colorado sports and all your college football sports, or college football as well. So, of course, I am your host. I am Keith Brugman. Joining our show, say hello to everybody, Jody Moncrief.
Evening, everyone.
Got Broncos country out there tuning in, and of course are here to see Mr. Mile High Dutchy himself as well, Albert Knoppers. How we doing, Albert?
We are doing excellent again. It's another week of preparation, so let's see if we had a good practice today.
I don't know if we're Nathaniel Hackett or Vance Joseph there, bud. I'm not really sure what's going on there. But man, sounding like reminiscent of days of old, I think. There,
One and the same.
Oh boy, shots fired, man. We'll get into whether you have to worry about that for a very long time, man. But you guys doing okay, man? Hanging in there. Jody, you said you're watching out the window, seeing some flakes flying. Is that right?
We are. Yep.
Got your snow shovel ready?
It's as ready as it can be.
Got your little moon boots, so you don't get your tootsies cold?
Yep.
All right, man. Just making sure. How about you, Albert? How are things over where you're at?
Well, here it is a different type of wetness. It is a lot of rain the last couple days. And we could use it, so that's good.
Yep. Not only do you get all your Denver Broncos here on the Denver Bronco Roundup, I think we're pretty good at giving you the weather report each week as well. It's been pretty cold up here, and we got snow on the mountains. They came through a few days ago. They've just been sticking up there. Wind kicks up, and man, for a guy with as much hair as me, man, you want to make sure you have your hat on. But hey, everybody, I know there's a lot of people that are going to be tuning in this evening. Tonight, finally, it's the giveaway. We got our training camp 2022 training camp t-shirt giveaway. Man, it's going to happen tonight. I appreciate all our followers, likers, subscribers who have been sticking with me. It's been a little bit over a year. We got over 1,000 followers. Last time I checked, 1,009. So thank you, everybody. We'll hit that a little bit later. We'll get that drawing going. But first, before we get started, I wanted to say thank you to our fantastic sponsor, Willow Seasonings and Blends. Willow Seasonings is a Colorado-owned, veteran-owned, Bronco fanatic-owned, Kansas City first-place blue ribbon owner-owned business, man. I'm telling you, let me introduce you to their lineup. I wish I had some. I'm going to get a little graphic for this, but their MVP lineup is fantastic. They got Sweet Heat. They got Sweet Smoke. They got Feisty Lime. Not Fiesta Lime, but kind of Fiesta feisty. Memphis style dry rub. My favorite, high elevation SPG. It's fantastic. As well as their amazing sauces, 1859 Colorado Gold Mustard Sauce and the Sweet Thang Sweet and Tangy Barbecue Sauce. Go find your favorite today. Like I said, I got high elevation SPG as mine, but you can find yours over at willowseasonings.com. That's willowseasonings.com. Go spice up your life. Well, tonight, man, head on over there right now, man. Great seasonings, great rubs, and not a better guy that you could be buying it from as well, purchasing it from. So, well, I feel like this is like good evening to Denver Bronco Roundup therapy. Once again, here we're the show that is here for you after every disappointing loss, guys. So it's getting more and more difficult for our fans every single week, just like it is for us. But I can't imagine being a player or coach on this 2-5 team. The final score, of course, was Denver 9, the Jets 16. But I'm going to challenge you guys to start the show. I want you to talk about what you saw that you liked or what you thought improved in this matchup against the surprising Jets. I'm going to start with you, Albert, Mr. Positive.
Okay, the positive is we had 9 points scored. Even the Bucks couldn't get 9 points on the score list. They only got 3. At least we had a touchdown. So I thought they had, when they played under center, I think they were able to do a little bit more than from shotgun or pistol. It looked a little bit more promising, and I think that's where we need to go. I'm still Latavius Murray. I think he still is doing a great job, and Melvin Gordon can hold on to the ball. So I think that's all surprising.
Hey, man, that's a pretty good roundup of some nice things to say about our Denver Broncos in a game that, it's tough to find some nice things to say. Jody, you can obviously you can reiterate what he said, expand upon it, find your own things. Can you give me something positive about this Denver Bronco loss to the Jets, 9-16?
We have an elite defense. Baron Browning is going to make it a lot easier to move on from Bradley Chubb if he's traded or not re-signed in this offseason. We played from under center a little bit more. I'll give that a pat on the back. But I'll mostly stick to the defense. I mean, again, they came out, held this team to 16 points. They gave up. I mean, you take away one big run they had, they pretty much held the Jets to nothing. They made Zach Wilson look like he is not a starting NFL caliber quarterback. Patrick Surtain, again, you don't hear his name called at all because he's locking down one receiver.
Good point.
And you get incredible pass rush from everywhere, from Draymond Jones in the middle to DJ Jones in the middle to Chubb to Browning to Jonathan Cooper. I mean, you're getting it from all over. So I will give the defense, they're keeping us in games, and I don't know how you can't be a fan of watching them play.
Yeah, I thought you were talking about the Broncos, and I thought you were being serious. Like, I can't believe you can be a fan watching these guys play, but I understand what you're talking about. Our fantastic defense is amazing, man. They go out there, they play their butts off every single week. They shouldn't have to be put to these tests week after week. They shouldn't have to be put to the test after every single game, it seems like, having to line up and explain why they're not mad as this offense has not been able to produce. Really, I mean, you take away a 20-point plus loss versus the Raiders, and I think our highest is 16 points, maybe 17 points, somewhere around there. I can't remember now. All I know is trying to get touchdowns on the board, trying to get any sense of, I don't know, that you have control over this game has not been there throughout 7 games now that we've been through. I'll agree with you guys on a little bit. Hey, we saw guys underneath center. We saw Rippon underneath center, and I think that was a big change, and I think that was something that helped out a lot. I saw Rippon getting the ball out of his hands quickly, something that a lot of times we're seeing Russell Wilson stand back there and he's taking sacks. He's seems indecisive on where he wants to go. That was not the case with Brett Rippon. We saw the ball spread around, and we saw 96 yards on 7 receptions from Jerry Jeudy, probably one of his better games that he's had, and a fantastic catch along the sidelines to boot. So probably one of his best highlight plays of his Denver Bronco career, although it be only for a first down. So I think there was some things that were working in the right direction. I thought Dulcich looked good in the passing game, and it seemed like they made him only a passing tight end in this game. Didn't try to give him too many blocking assignments. So that worked out well for him and for this scheme. So I saw things that were going right. I didn't see third and long all game long. It might have been third and short and we didn't convert it, but we didn't have third and long all game long. We didn't play behind the sticks. We didn't have near as many penalties, though I think this officiating crew is probably one of the worst that we'd ran up across so far. Missing calls on both sides of the play, on both sides of the, for both teams and on both sides of the ball, I guess is the best way to put it. So I got a Facebook user coming in saying, hey guys, if you don't give StreamYard your permission, just drop your name in there. I'd love to know who you are. Matt's jumping in here, Matt Staffiero. He says, Albright is saying there's an 80% chance Chubb is moved regardless of Sunday's outcome. Also, the Judy interest is real, but rumored asking price is making suitors weary. I guess we could touch on this really quick. Go over to Jody first. I think it's been a moment. Jody, what do you think? Is Chubb down the road? Is he gone regardless? Is he gone if we lose here? And then your personal opinion, should we hold on to him or should he be traded?
I don't think it really matters if they be traded. And that it just strictly comes down to money. I mean, you've got guys that you got to pay next year. You've got Draymond Jones coming up. You've got other big names that are on the books. And you've got Baron Browning, Nick Bonito, and Jonathan Cooper waiting in the wings. So it's either. Now, one thing I did hear is they think they can get a third round. If they don't trade him, you can get a third round compensatory pick. So, I mean, I would say that's where the bar starts. Yep. She better at least get 1-3 or something, or just lose him in the offseason. If he continues to play like he is and he's top 5 in sacks at the end of the year and he's not traded, you're going to lose him. So, because you can't. You're not going to be able to pay him. I mean, you got to pay a lot of guys, and this O-line needs reworked. I mean, you're going to have, in my opinion, probably 3 to 4 new starters. So, I mean, you're going to have to work this O-line. Plus, you've got guys, like I said, Draymond Jones is one who you're going to have to pay. So, it doesn't really make sense. Especially already playing Randy Gregory. He's back next year, so.
Yep, for sure.
What are you going to do with Baron Browning? If you re-sign Chubb, you'll lose Baron Browning as a rotational player, so.
Yeah, it's like the old Shaq Barrett days again.
Yep.
You know, one thing I will say is that we do have no first or second round draft pick next year, so that should free up a little bit of money, you know, if we need to re-sign some guys. Albert, what do you say? Does it make a difference? Is he gone? Does he stay? And would you keep him, or should he go?
So, Judy, I don't think it is going to be a big loss if he is gone or not. We have people there right now equal as bad as he is right now. He had a pretty decent game with Rippon, but other than that, he has not proven much to me. Chubb?
Yeah, Chubb. That's where we want. What do you got for Chubb, man?
Chubb, I would how do you call it? I would like to see if they keep him and have the 5th year option. Because the 5th round or whatever that is called. And restricted free agent tender or whatever that is.
Yep.
If they put it on him, and then he can prove himself another year, and
under
then
the franchise tag. That's what you're speaking of.
Yep, franchise tag, and then keep him under the franchise tag. Of course, it's going to be quite a sum of money, but it's still more affordable than signing him.
Yeah.
And then if he proves him again, now you get value out of him. So I would keep him another year.
Interesting. You know, first off, I just want to say hi to Sis, who's jumping in. Says, evening, men. Evening, Sis. And then he has a little, he's up in that East Coast, Northeast area, and he's saying, rumored today, Judy was seen at Newark Airport. Man, that would be a trek back from London, or he didn't make the trip because I didn't necessarily see him boarding a plane per se on any of the highlight video footage. But that would be an interesting revelation if Judy's in Newark, maybe heading over to join the Broncos, at least on the sideline, as he's maybe talking some deals. I don't know. What do you guys think?
I'm whatever on Jared Judy. I mean, he doesn't give max effort on a lot of plays. He looks like he could care less on some plays. He drops easy passes. You don't see that from Tim Patrick or Sutton. I mean, so I'm kind of. And he hadn't lived up to where other guys were drafted. I mean, he hadn't lived up to anything that Justin Jefferson or CeeDee Lamb has produced. So
It's done better than Henry Ruggs. Sorry, no, that was a bad joke. I'm sorry.
not much though, and Ruggs hasn't played for how long?
Yeah, that's true. Might have to look up that stat line. That might be true. The only thing I would say, and just kind of jumping over to this, I was on board with Chubb probably being moved, up until this last game. What do we have happen this last game? We have Baron Browning going down. We still are waiting for Randy Gregory to come back. We've seen Aaron Patrick go down already. He's gone for the season. This is not a linebacking room that has a whole lot of depth in it at this point. I know that we have guys that are supposed to be coming back and will come back. And I'll be honest, my concern was, hey, let's get rid of Chubb before he gets injured, because that's something in his past. But now I think that there's might be a little bit more of a tendency to hold on to him, more than the 80% chance that Benjamin Albright is reporting.
I mean, if you can get a deal like you got for Von Miller last year, a 2 and a 3, I mean, it only makes sense. Now, one thing that is interesting to think about, if you could go back, would you sign Gregory knowing what you're going to get from Baron Browning?
That's an interesting point, because I think that was not only not knowing what Baron Browning had, but also not knowing exactly what kind of Chubb we would get for this season too. So we kind of hedged our bet there, and now we're stocked up if everybody comes back. Just speaking really quickly to Judy, I might be on the opposite page from you guys, and I was a little bit harsh on Judy to start the year, but I've seen a guy that's starting to come around just a little bit, and I don't know. If you get rid of Judy, who's going to help rebuild this team? I mean, you're talking about Courtland Sutton. Okay, we got Courtland Sutton. We're talking about Tim Patrick. Well, Tim Patrick's not necessarily on the field. He's still having to come back from his injury. Hopefully he comes back 100%, but just like Javonte Williams, I don't know if I want to necessarily count on that either. So, I look at Judy as possibly being one of the key pieces we need in order to rebuild this around this offense that's already struggling.
I've already seen more from Greg Dulcich, even although he is not a wide receiver, than from Jared Judy through the middle and stuff. So if we look at it that way, Jared Dulcich is already picking up where Judy is missing. So I think it's not going to be a big loss if we lose Judy. We can have other wide receivers come in for him and do as much as what he did so far.
I would love to say so, but so far I haven't seen Hamler have a game like Judy has. I haven't seen Hinton have a game like Judy has. There's not a whole lot of options up and down this roster. I'll go back over to Jody. Do you think I take it I know the answer, but do you think there's any value in keeping Judy on this team and trying to rebuild and get this offense moving?
I mean, if you can get I don't even know what you could give for him now.
Exactly. That's the other thing that we're talking about.
My only thing is if you trade Judy, you have got to start playing Hamler. Hamler has to get more than 30-40% of the snaps. He's got to get legit playing time. And then you got two guys that played well in the preseason, and Jalen Virgil, and you just brought back Brandon Johnson. We need to see what those guys can do. I mean, if Judy was putting up huge numbers, then that's one thing, but he's not. So, and he never has.
And right now, I think because Judy is there, those two guys who might have maybe a better record at the end of the year might, if Judy was not there, they will get a shot, and then they can really prove them how they are.
All right, man. Well, Matt got us a little bit sidetracked in all the trade talk here. I did want to just get back, man. Like I said, I wanted you guys to talk about all the positive things. You got some positive things out of the way. I'm gonna let loose the reins, I guess. What is going wrong? What you didn't like in what happened on Sunday? It only makes sense. I think I get to Jody first on this one. Jody, I'll let you let loose. Go ahead, run, buddy.
Play calling for me. I mean, you have your backup quarterback in making his second start ever, and you throw the ball 46 times. That's not a recipe to win, and it was proven. I mean, you came right out and said that the key to winning this game was run the football, and you had double the amount of passes. You never really got the run game going. And some of the play calls themselves are just head scratching. 4th and 3, and we're trying to throw 40-yard bombs to try to score a touchdown. Get the first down. You don't try to run for it. Receivers are running 2 yards short of the first down on a lot of plays. Just a lot of, that you can pinpoint. That's, in my opinion, that's all coaching right there. And Hackett can get up there and be frustrated, and you can go to the tape and say, oh, look, this guy was open, or this guy was open, or whatever. But I still have yet to see a quarterback get up there, call out his protection, and then say, oh, this is not going to work, and audible out of a play. You don't see that. It's like live or die, you're going to run this play, and if it works, it works. If it doesn't, it doesn't. It's just I don't understand. And that's what his claim to fame was supposed to be when he came here. He was this offensive guru that I haven't seen at all. We didn't see it in Buffalo. We didn't see it in Jacksonville. He wasn't calling plays in Green Bay. So, when you can look at this offense, it looks like trash in Green Bay too. Aaron Rodgers isn't doing anything right now. So, there's just a lot of head scratchers. Like, why is Melvin Gordon playing? After the way he acted a few weeks ago, why? He's not going to be back here next year. He's not really helping you. He's not running. He looks like he's running scared now, and you can see it in the way he's holding the ball and different things. He's not running like he's used to running. There's just a lot of things on this offensive side that I don't know when they're going to get changed. He can say in the press conference that he's willing to do whatever. He'll give up play calling, but that goes back to the beginning. You hired such an unexperienced coaching staff. Clint Kubiak has called plays 1 year, and you have nothing.
Yeah.
So what do you do?
And it looks like to me that Hackett is coaching to lose, because in the first half we had 2 4-and-1s, and they went for it. And in the second half, when it really was necessary, they punted. And most of the games are so predictable. So, yeah, I totally agree with you. Play calling is the biggest issue that we have. And our O-line, of course. The only one positive I see in the O-line is Miners, because he is really playing for it. And you can see it makes a difference on the right side. It was less of a sieve, but still, the O-line that we have right now, I still don't see why Cushenberry is still playing.
I look at someone like Brandon Staley, and whether you agree with it or not, when it's 4th and 1, he's going for it, and he's made his mind up. He's going for it. In the Seattle game, we settled for whatever that was, a 60-some yard field goal.
Mm-hmm.
And then Sunday, what did he pass up? Like a 58-yarder at home and punted it. I mean, he's just not consistent on his calls. I mean, if you're going to punt, if that's where Brandon Madison kicked from, then kick it.
And during the halftime, just before the halftime of the second half would start, one of the reporters says, Hackett will focus more on the run, and because running gets us there. And what did we do? What did we have? 8 or 9 runs and 22 passes, something like that.
Yeah, I mean, you said your backup quarterback to fail throwing for the ball 46 times
Mm-hmm.
in his second career start. I mean, the game never got away from you. You were always within a score. You didn't need to just throw the ball every play, and that's what we did. I mean, that's the type of – it's just like we're throwing darts at a wall, and if one sticks, great. If it doesn't, fingers crossed that this defense will score a touchdown and bail us out.
Gentlemen, I hate to jump in here, but I don't know how well our stream is actually working. I don't know if you guys can check right now. We're getting some reports. I've been trying to change it a little bit. I don't know if you can check on your end and see how well we're looking.
I haven't seen a problem yet.
Yeah,
little
Looks good here.
hiccup once.
yeah, and it's look. Do you guys have any broadcast that's actually going out? Can you view what's going live, I guess you could say, other than on StreamYard? For instance, open up a Facebook page and make sure that you actually see a broadcast on that end.
I will do it right now.
All right, I appreciate it. Anybody that's hanging out watching, just making sure that everyone's getting taken care of, and we're getting our show out to you. Want to see it. Want to make sure that everyone's able to see what's going on. Worst case scenario, if we're having some issues, we may try to reschedule, and Keith's going to have to try to really figure out this this internet issue he's been dealing with. Thought I might have had it nailed, and I'm far from it. So,
Yeah, it's not. Doesn't seem like it's one to.
doesn't seem like it's loading, is it?
Like it's loading.
Okay. I'm going to end the broadcast, and we're going to see if can jump back in here real quick, okay guys?
Okay.
Okay.